Well. It has been a minute. It has been 4 months of minutes, but I have finally gotten around to editing this episode of Chaotic Tired. Wow. School is almost done. I'll be graduating after maybe 3 weeks or so I will definitely have more time to throw at this, but yeah, I'm glad I finally had some time during Thanksgiving break to actually edit this. So without further ado, here is me and my good friend, Tyler. Gonna have like a out of order telling of the podcast, have like a memento style lore to it.
Yeah.
That would be funny. Well, anyway, everybody, welcome back, Tyler, to episode 7 of Chaotic Tired.
Welcome, Tyler.
You are back.
I'm back.
Where have you been for these past couple of months? Because you've been away.
I've been MIA for sure. Chad didn't even know I was here for like the last month, even though I've been here. That's probably my fault, because I told him when I get back so we could do a podcast, and he just messaged me, "Are you here?" And
Wait.
I am. And so the very next day, here I am.
Yeah.
Recording a podcast.
I was like, I'm like, wait, because we were going to do it remotely. I was going to have to figure out OBS, and I have recorded an episode about a year ago with OBS, but I never got around to editing it. It was more of just like a practice round. I'd love to find that, but it's on my computer that's crashed. But I was like, yeah, we can figure out OBS and do it remotely. A week goes by, nothing really is said, and then I say, wait, when do you get back? And you're just like, I'm here. I've been here.
It's true.
Yeah, you were with your family out yonder in Pennsylvania.
Philadelphia. Yep. It's an honor to be here, though. 3rd time, and then you told me it's episode 7, so I'm about half of all podcasts.
You're half. There was an episode in there that didn't count. I won't name which one it is. It's yeah. We're always gonna trash that episode as just being like a little, not too serious one. But you know what I gotta do? I gotta go back on. I gotta basically take episode 3. That was the one that we did after waiting for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I had put that one up on SoundCloud, and what had happened was the combined time of the first 3 podcasts surpassed the 3-hour mark of total upload time. And SoundCloud only lets you have up to 3 hours of upload time until you get a pro account. I'm like, I'm not paying $10 a month.
We did a longer than 3 hours?
Podcast. No, the 3 podcast times added up. So what had happened was the 2 most recent ones were on, but the first one was basically privated. So nobody can see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-upload the 3rd episode onto YouTube, since that's where I've been, putting most of the podcasts now. And I'm going to keep 1 and 2 on the SoundCloud because, again, the computer that the previous files were on is broken. It's broke.
This episode is not sponsored by SoundCloud.
Yeah, SoundCloud, you're a necessity at this point. You're holding my episodes hostage. Unfair. But
we can pay for premium if we get some loyal viewers.
Yeah. That segues us into our Patreon episode. Welcome. No, I don't want to do a Patreon for this. There would be like 2 donators, and they would all be $1. And then I would just feel obligated over $2 a month.
Anyways, Chad, what have you been up to this summer?
What have I been up to?
You working yet?
I am working. In my last week of school, I had a engineering internship lined up. It's going to be a summer job, just like helping people around the office that I've been working with for the past couple of years. And some politics happened with that company, and they no longer needed an intern. In fact, the guy who had promised...
You had a good story about this, I remember, about some guy that got fired.
Yeah, so... that whole thing was just a mess. I won't say what the company is, but it probably doesn't matter because they're not technically what they were. But rewind, I guess, to March, January through March. I've been helping them with projects. They're just slammed. And so through the school year, they've been like, we really could use your help. So I'm like, okay, great, awesome. I'd love to have a part-time job while I'm doing school. So, I spend Fridays and, some mornings there working on stuff. And as I'm working there from January to March, I come to meet this guy, and we'll call him Jartholomew.
I think it was Jerry last time.
That's his actual name.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, so Jerry is working in the back, and he's a swell guy. He's a nice guy. He's a pretty groovy guy, but he just has his quirks. He likes to listen to historical podcasts without headphones in the room that is right next to the room where I am working. So if I'm not wearing headphones listening to music, I'm learning about 1862 Civil War tactics, or the Cherokees' tactics in the French and Indian War, or, just like very obscure American history, specifically podcasts. I'm like, oh my God, okay, whatever. He was just such a bad work ethic kind of guy. It was weird, but he would he came in to my room one day. I work in the parts room where they store a lot of the components, because I'm working with stuff that needs a lot of the components. He's in the back. He's got separate stuff. He's doing more specific stuff. And one day he comes in and he's asking for some ferrules, which you thread the wire through, and then you clamp it down, and now that's where the wire is. It's kind of in this protective thing. And he's like, hey, do we got any more ferrules back here? I'm like, oh, yeah, I think we got some ferrules. He's like, do they have this size? And I'm like, I don't think so. I think we're out of that size. He's like, ugh, that means I'm going to have to go to the store and buy some more. I can't believe they make you buy your own parts to work with here. I'm like, really? Are you sure they do that? Because they've sent me to the store with the company card to buy parts before. I was like an intern, and that was like my job. And he's like, yeah, they make you pay for it out of pocket. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, that kind of does suck. I'm just trying to get him off my back at this point. He's like, yeah, blah, 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 the man. He's like making the man references and jokes, and this is like an 8-person big company. There's not like a corporate ladder that you climb up and you're like, ugh, I hate the CEO of this company. It's like there's the guy who hired you and your 7 coworkers. So he goes off, and I bring that up with the secretary who coordinates a lot of the stuff but orders the parts for people. And I'm like, yeah, he's said that he had to pay for stuff out of pocket. What was up with that? And she's like, yeah, you buy it, and then you write it up as a work expense, and then we reimburse you. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, he was saying he had to buy it himself, with his money. He did. Yeah. Well, anyway, in the time from March where I stopped working for them to May, they actually let him go because he was just a temp worker, and he just wasn't doing good. He was just always literally every time he would go in the back, he would just be on his phone. This is a 50-year-old guy. This is a guy who shouldn't be addicted to his phone like a teenager. But he was definitely on his phone all the time. It was bad. But anyway, May rolls around. I'm just about to be out of school, and I ask, hey, do you guys still want me to start coming up? Because I'm just about out of school. And they're like, well, about that, we don't have any new jobs. The only jobs that we have are in, the one job that we have currently is in Pennsylvania. And so they've been sending a lot of people there to work for a week and then come back. So I went to go work with my dad. He works for the company that was my in. So me and him went up to Pennsylvania for a week. So I was pretty close to Tyler for a little bit. Could have swung by and said hi. But yeah, we went up to Pennsylvania and we worked for a week, but that was the extent of my engineering internship that was somewhat promised. So now it's mid-March, and I'm looking for internships, but they've all been hashed out, just summer positions. You either get ones that are through the summer and then into the next semester, or the ones that are just for the summer were all kind of hashed out earlier in the semester. So I went about a month without working, and now I'm working at a pizza place, which is fun. It's where my brother works, so it's just a part-time place.
Do you deliver?
No, it's Blaze Pizza.
Oh, I've heard amazing. I've been there, and it's good.
It's like a Subway-style pizza place for personal pizzas.
It's like west of here, right?
There's one in Garner, and there's one in Holly Springs, and there's one in Durham.
Okay, yeah.
But it's really cool. You go, and they press the dough in front of you, and then you go down the line, and you say, I want this sauce, I want those toppings, and they'll cook it in the big oven right in front of you. And it's really good pizza. I enjoy the pizza there. Haven't had any yet because they make you buy the pizza unless you work like a certain amount of time. But it's really good, and I recommend going.
So if you want Chad to make you a pizza.
You want me to make you a pizza?
I want Chad to make me a pizza.
I will make you a pizza. But yeah, just a part-time place. I'm probably going to work through the semester too because I'm only taking 9 credit hour for my last semester.
And you're graduating in December.
Yeah, I'll be graduating in December.
Most of your friends have already pieced out.
Yeah, I know. So I only have really my younger friends who I play soccer with, and then my grad school friends who I was doing engineering with.
It's a good deal.
So yeah.
You have a job lined up after that, or back to the market?
Well, I'm back to the market because that was the place that I had the job lined up with. And recently the guy who promised me the job just resigned because...
Take his job.
No, not Jerry. The actual boss, like the owner of the company.
Take his job.
Oh my God, you're right. But yeah, we'll figure it out. It's exciting. I have to actually go to a career fair now.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
That sucks.
Yeah, nothing good ever came out of career fair for me.
Yeah, but anyway, that's my situation. I have people that have just gotten jobs that I'm sure that they can refer me to some places like that. But, it is what it is. It's exciting because that little place that I was working with those 7-8 people, I'm sure that would have gotten stale after a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
Just sitting in a tiny...
Unless you really love what you do, it's going to get stale.
Yeah.
Spoiler, I do not really love what I do.
How's your new job going? Are you officially hired as of now?
Yes, and this is my first real job in 21 years.
Working at 8 to 5?
8 to 5, so I'm there 9 hours a day, and I've learned 2 valuable things. One is that I don't like working. Apparently some people in this world do, but I've found a severe lack of free time. You get home, and it's like, oh, I have to go to bed now.
You're exhausted.
Yeah, you're tired, and 2, you have 4 hours before you actually have to sleep.
Yeah. In
order to get enough sleep for the rest of the day. And my coworkers all get 5 to 6 hours of sleep because they actually want to do something with their lives, and then they're just miserable throughout the day.
That sounds like me. I still get 5 to 6 hours of sleep. It depends. If it's a weekend or I don't have work the next day, I'll sleep for 12 hours because I won't set an alarm for myself. But then when I do have to get up, I'm not going to bed earlier. It just doesn't.
I'm not sure about the science of this, but I'm pretty sure you can't make up hours on the weekend as much. You can a little bit, but it doesn't really.
Sleeping 12 hours doesn't help.
Yeah. Also makes you more tired.
Yeah, I know. I need to work. I need to work on that. I need to start. You know what I need to start doing? I need to start getting up early and going to the gym and working out. I will go to the gym at 5 or 6 p.m. because I've grown up playing soccer, and soccer practices have always been in the afternoon after school.
Right.
So that's when my body is all right, let's go do something. Let's get some physical activity in. But now I'm tired after work. Now it's I don't want to be working out at 5 p.m.
You lose the will to live. And then after lunch, we have a mandatory lunch hour until I'm done with my training, which is 3 months for this program. You eat, and it's great, and you socialize, and you have an hour off, and it's cool. I'd still rather work through my lunch and then leave earlier.
Yeah.
But it sets in, and you just are incapable of doing anything productive because you're full, you're sleepy, you're tired, you don't want to do anything.
That's the mortal coil.
Some people that are with me are actually falling asleep, at work.
That's bad.
It is bad. Or at the very minimum, completely zoning out of whatever we're supposed to be learning or doing. So
I remember the first summer in between my freshman and sophomore year was when I started working with this company, this engineering company, and I was working I think 5 days a week. But I also had like a summer class that I was taking economics. So in the morning I would take class and then I would work 1 to 5. By 3 o'clock, I was like, they're like, I need you to make 20 of these Ethernet cables. So you need to strip the wire, put them into the thing where your Ethernet cable is, and then clamp it down. By like 5 or 6 cables, I was like literally nodding off while I was doing something active with my hands. That doesn't happen to me. I'll nod off when I'm like in class, just like looking at the professor teach. But like if I'm doing something, focusing on something, I don't fall asleep. But I was falling asleep. I don't know, man. Work's hard.
Work is hard. A lot of it is inflexible hours, having to be there at 8 and leave exactly at 5. Because I would come in early and leave early if I could, just to avoid the traffic. When you have to stay exactly up until 5, then everyone's trying to leave at 5, and then the whole world is trying to leave at 5 on top of just your own company. It's miserable getting back. And I only have a 10-minute commute, so it's like 15 or 20 with traffic. But it still adds up, and it's frustrating sitting there, having to wait through 3 cycles of a traffic light just to turn left.
Yeah.
But
here's what I'd want to do. I'd want to work 5.5 hours in the morning, 8 to 2:30, work through lunch, go home, eat lunch at that point, or get lunch on the way or something like that, go to the gym, work out, then finish the 2.5 hours at home or something like that.
Working from home is a big, cool idea.
Yeah.
Don't know how productive it would be because I haven't tried it yet.
Are you able to do all of your work stuff on your own computer?
Mostly, but for the time being, I have to be there. I won't know for like another 2 months if I'll be able to work from home eventually.
Just because it's training.
Yeah.
Are you going to work here in the Triangle, or are they going to send you out?
Here at Research Triangle Park.
That's cool. I've got a couple friends who are just now getting jobs because they've graduated and stuff like that, and they're being sent to like Florida for training, and then after their 2 years in Florida of training, or maybe I think it was like actually 6 months training, and then for 2 years they will be sent to go work at another place that they haven't been told yet, like it's any of their plants wherever. So
that's crazy.
I don't want to do that. I would like to stay local,
here.
Please. Yeah.
It's a nice place, and I feel like I'm still learning stuff. Like today, for the first time, I went through like downtown Morrisville and Cary, and it's beautiful. Yeah. Like that's some rich people over there. It's just incredible how like pretty it is. The medians with flowers and trees, and
you just got to be in the right spot. I mean, but Cary is very nice, and I think Morrisville is getting nicer too because so many places just outside of the Research Triangle are like opening shops in Morrisville.
People that work there have money.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to live somewhere nice.
Morrisville is becoming the new Cary. Traditionally, people who work in Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill are going to live in Cary and commute to there. Specifically Raleigh and Durham, maybe not Chapel Hill. That's a little bit farther away. But like Morrisville is that new hot spot of like, people going and working and living and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got my first paycheck yesterday.
Very nice.
2 weeks worth of work, and it's some good money, but then they tax you. Taxation is theft, and then they take all your benefits out. Then you're left with some amount, which is still quite a bit, and then I have nothing to spend it on. Because you come home from work and there's nothing. Just tired. There's nothing to do. You're tired, so it's going into savings. I'm working on saving for a new car that maybe has air conditioning. That would be nice. That would be ideal. Maybe even you splurge and get the air conditioning before your new car. That would be ideal as well. Although summer is getting close to being done, I suppose. I'm coming to Chad's apartment instead of to the car dealership to fix my AC. Well, priorities. Oh yeah, priorities. This is far superior to not melting. Yeah. Well, should we get into the meat of things? We should. I think we should. So, last episode you heard me and Caleb talk about a couple albums, one by Neil Cicerego, one by
Led Zeppelin, more of a classic than a newer album. But I think this week we've only got one. We've only got one to talk about because Tyler couldn't come up with one on the spot, even though it was he had a week of deliberation.
That was a busy week.
He was so tired from his new job. But I sent him a collection of videos from, oh God, I'm going to mess up his name.
And I totally didn't watch them 15 minutes ago.
Okay, well, let me look up his name. Sseth, that's a double S, SsethTzeentach. But he just goes by Seth. He is I think Polish. I hope he's not Polish. But I'm pretty sure he's made a lot of Poland references. Like there's some Polish things he's talked about. But I think he's from Polish, but he speaks very good English. And he is in the vein of video game reviews, specifically for older and extremely complicated video games. But the reviews that he makes with them are just so interesting and so narrative-wise. There's a lot to watch, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Tyler didn't find the time to watch the videos this week, so we got lunch right before this, and we watched a couple of the videos. Specifically, we watched the Space Station 13 episode that he did, as well as his Might and Magic
3.
Episode 3. Yeah, Game 3, not Episode 3. But both of them are really good. He, just to describe Seth, he has this really deep voice, and he goes, "Hey people, Seth here.
Hey people, Seth here. Hey people, Seth here. Hey people, Seth here."
It's very ironic.
It's very ironic. I mean, he's always
it's dry.
It's very dry. Yeah,
dry humor.
It's dry humor, and he'll start off by just saying what the game is. Oh man, I gotta think about
Always a good review.
It's always a good review. Yeah. It's hard to review a reviewer, but he's got some very dry humor, and
Well, I just meant he rates the game very highly.
Yeah.
No matter what it is.
Well, I think he's only going to review games that he really likes, if that makes sense. And
that's going to run out of games he really likes one day.
Exactly. But I mean, I think the point of the games that he reviews is they're older, they have a cult following, and they're somewhat exploitable. The meat of his reviews are talking about what the game is, what you do in the game, kind of how it works for a minute, and then he says something along the lines of, "Now I've told you sort of what the gist of the game is. Now let's break it and let's have a little fun." So just to reiterate what he says in Space Station 13, you're playing as a worker, part of this crew on a ship of 60 people all playing at once. And you have a role assigned to you. You're in the med bay. You're in the security. You're a cook. You're a medical dispensary. You are in the research and development. You're in the cargo bay. You're doing all of these random tasks that all within the game have certain goals that need to be met. And everybody in this crew is trying to keep the ship running for as long as possible. But then, of course, there are a few traders in the mix. There are some people working for the syndicate, and they have a very specific goal themselves, and such as killing the chief of security. Once they kill the chief of security and escape through an escape pod in the ship, they win. They win their condition. All of the art is in 2D. It's very Sprite. It almost looks like
Looks like it was old.
It looks like it's a Game Boy Advance game. The textures
earlier than that.
Earlier than that,
oh,
really?
For sure.
It's very 8-bit, and but I mean, I didn't really have any trouble discerning what items were, if that makes sense. It's very good 8-bit art. It's not original Super Mario Bros. 8-bit. You can tell what everything is.
These are complicated games that have so many different interworking pieces.
It's almost like if Dungeons and Dragons were a game. In Dungeons and Dragons, you can say, all right, I take out the rope and I tie it, and then I throw it on something and then I tie it around myself so I get a better grip and blah, blah, blah. And you can get very, very, very into the nitty gritty of like what you're doing. And that's the same in this game. It's been a game for almost 20 years, I think. I think it came out in 1999, although it could be sometime in the early 2000s. But it's so open in what you can do. He describes this one time where he was in research and development and he had a dispenser item, which is you put something in it and it shoots out the object that you put into it. So sort of like firing a projectile, but not necessarily a projectile. So what he did was he loaded it full of food, he put lasagna in it, and he aimed it, he clicked on his target, the person target, and moused over the mouth area on the target and fired, and the lasagna went straight into his mouth and he ate it. So he forced somebody to consume this food that he shot at him. So what do you do at that point when you have this power in your hands? You go to the medical dispensary and you ask for hallucinogenics and you put it in the food and you go around and you troll people by shooting poisoned food at them. So, I mean, literally, he loves reviewing games that are so open-ended like that.
And that, for the most part, no one's ever heard of. And the game came out in 2003, by the way.
Yeah, it's a 2003. It's
as old as my little sister.
It's an old game. But you can just do so much in a lot of the games that he plays. It's really interesting. The other one that we watched was Might and Magic 3. And
let's see how old that one is.
I would say 99. I think that one was probably 99. Tyler's looking
1991.
91!
91.
Oh my god.
I didn't even know games like this existed back then. That's 7 years before I was born, and it has so much detail to it.
Oh my god.
It has so much strategy. So much options.
Look up for me, when did Curse of Monkey Island come out?
Sure.
He is Googling it.
1997.
97.
So 6 years after Might and Magic 3.
I watched a whole 2-hour documentary on that, and I can link that in the description. But the documentary kind of talks about how, for the first time, Monkey Island, or Curse of Monkey Island, it had some of the best music for its time. It went from like having the classic sort of, just like old video game sounding music, like almost 8-bit music, to having like a full-on orchestral soundtrack, because this was a game on a CD-ROM, and I guess that was one of the more, that was moving up to a more popular or a more powerful, it was a big technological advance in video games. So for me, I just think of like games before 1997 as like kind of older and simpler and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But 91, that's so long ago. And we just watched a whole video on it, and it does not look like a game from 1991.
Right. So another game that everyone will know that came out in 1991 is the first Sonic the Hedgehog. That was when that first one came out. But it was so much more simple than Might and Magic 3. Like, I feel like, you're an electrical engineer and I'm a computer science student. I feel like the storage capacity and the ability to like run things fast at a time, like just the hardware limitations were just like, I didn't believe that something like that was possible in that time. But it has so much detail to it. I can't believe it's not something I've heard of before.
Yeah. And that was Might and Magic 3. There were 2 others that came out before 1991.
Oh, yeah. Let's see when those came out.
Probably pretty soon before that.
Probably. But then again, it looks like it took forever to make.
That is true.
And looks like there's up to 6, 7, so 9.
That's a lot.
1986.
86
for the first one.
I bet that one was super.
Oh, you want to see pictures of this?
I would. That looks like that classic DOS game where you just
it's text based.
Yeah.
Wow, the difference between this and the third one in 5 years.
That's crazy.
Is absolutely astronomical.
I'll put up some pictures in the YouTube video of Might and Magic 3 versus the first one. Because that is insane. That's really crazy.
The secret of the inner sanctum.
But anyway, Sseth just finds some of these like really older but still really charming games that you can, that leave open-ended solutions to the problems that it poses. And he loves breaking them down and like, oh, I solved this problem by doing this. And like, for example, in Might of Magic 3, traditionally you would hire a huge army of people, and then you would run into another army of people, and your leader that was controlling them would assist your army in taking down their leader's army. So it would be like army versus army. Well, what he would do is he would take his leader, who is able to cast spells, and he would teach it essentially a nuke that would destroy both armies, called Armageddon. And the thing about Armageddon is it's a fire type spell. So he would take 2 units. He would take 2 genies, 2 fire genies, and their special ability is they're immune to fire magic, which Armageddon is. So he would cast a nuke that would traditionally kill both armies, but his genies would be immune to it, and he would just kill all of the armies like that and just go over and over and over until he ran out of Armageddon spells, and then he would back out. And the cost of the Armageddon spells was like 2,000 gold, but he killed 20,000 gold worth of enemies. So it's like you find these little tricks in the game, and I don't know how long he spent playing, probably hundreds and hundreds of hours.
For how many games he's reviewed.
Yeah.
He has a knowledge base for those games where he looks like an expert.
Yeah.
Even though it's unlikely that he's invested that much time into the games individually. But maybe he has.
Honestly.
It's hard to tell. But that's kind of like his niche, I feel like, within the YouTube community is his ability to just pick out these obscure games with their cult followings and honestly make it so the viewer who has no idea about the game actually wants to play. I wanted to play those games watching those videos.
Yeah.
And that's something that I feel like not a lot of other content creators can make me do.
When people review a game, sometimes they gloss over the aspect of making you understand why it's a good game. They can tell you that you do this in the game and it functions like this and it does that. It looks like this and it sounds like this.
But that's not why it's fun.
That's not why it's fun. Exactly. That's not why it's fun.
And Sseth presents us with examples of how you can do this in the game and how that brings enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
How to break things, how to exploit things.
Another person that kind of is able to do that in his reviews is Donkey. I feel like when he reviews a game, he's also telling you why it's fun, because he's not playing a game because it's his job, like a Polygon reviewer or a Kotaku reviewer. He's playing a game because he enjoys it. He's not going to review a game that he doesn't want to play unless it's like a really, really bad game, like a topical, like the new Metal Gear Solid game.
Right.
But it really is his passion and the fact that he's played these games for so long and figured out why they're fun that make his reviews really cool. Way long ago, probably 7 years ago, he started off by making some some League of Legends YouTube videos, which I've been playing League of Legends for, probably since he started making videos. I guess season 2, so it's early 2012, late 2011, early 2012, and that's where he got his start, just making some funny, YouTube videos on League of Legends, and they're hilarious. I am still able to quote it to this day because I watched it so much back then.
He's got some quotes. Degenerate shot in the street and all that.
Yeah, he uses a lot of words that aren't quite so friendly nowadays. But
got banned.
yeah. They're just like not quite.
I feel like Donkey is much more of a foil to Sseth, and they do similar things, but Donkey is much more animated in what he does.
Yeah.
And that Sseth kind of shows the fun in the actions of the game, whereas Donkey kind of shows the fun in his reaction to what is actually happening.
That is true. So I think a good example would be Donkey's video on Breath of the Wild. He doesn't at any point say how to play the game, but the whole video is like 7 or 8 minutes on him, messing with the AI of the game, discovering new things in the game, playing the game actually, and just as you said, his reaction like whoa 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 blah blah blah, and like he's actually playing it in real time. Whereas Seth is like, I have played this game for 200 hours, and I understand every in and out of it. When you're doing this, you're gonna want to do blah blah blah, and then in this situation, I was able to go and he describes his journey as it was, not as it's happening, which are two very cool points of view.
Yeah, obviously donkeys will be more popular as it is.
Yeah,
because
it's
people watch her reactions. That's much more of a stream-friendly
exactly
personality, which is why it took off so quickly all those years ago.
And that's what he's good at. I mean, that was what Donkey's League of Legends videos were just him playing League of Legends, and I don't think, I mean, obviously his voiceover isn't live. He wasn't saying everything that he says in the video as he was playing it, but it kind of encapsulates his feelings as he was playing while still being funny. It's very fun.
So, speaking of YouTube, have you seen the resurrection of Minecraft?
The Renaissance?
That's a beautiful word for it.
The Minecraft Renaissance.
There's the Minecraft Mondays. It's like $10,000 tournaments every week.
My brother has been playing Minecraft since it came out, probably a couple years after. I played it when it came out, when it was in the very early beta. I wasn't an alpha boy. I wasn't that early, but I played through a certain amount of time, and probably for a couple years after the beta came out, and then he started playing shortly after that, and he's been playing ever since. So he's kind of like a big deal on whatever server he takes part in. But I'm like, you're still playing Minecraft? And now it's like, yeah, I understand why. It's back. I mean, they've just added so much to the game over such a period of time.
There's so much you can expand on it with like mods and stuff like that. Like, one is the modding aspect, and the other is the social aspect. Like, everything you saw in that Space Station 13 game, the social aspect, you can recreate in Minecraft. There's Trouble in Terrorist Town, there's Mafia, there's all those sorts of things where if you want to do something, there's a server for that. Hunger Games, that were the PvP, of course, and then there's also like role playing and stuff like that, MMOs, etc. So I think the versatility of it reminds me of a game before its time known as Little Big Planet for the PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
I put so many hours into that game, and you could really just make whatever you want.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what got me into games like Minecraft, is just the
sandbox aspect.
Sandbox world, being able to do whatever you want, create what you want. Might not be the most popular, but if you make a good bomb survival level, then you'll get a lot of hearts, like I did.
Right. That's cool. Yeah, Parker, my brother, plays on like econ servers where you spend all of your time on a farm that you've made making wheat or fishing or stuff like that, and you take these items and you sell them for cash, and then
it's a role playing server.
Exactly, but it's like money based. Like everything that you're doing, you're trying to make more money.
Right.
Yeah, and then you're using that money to buy more land and blocks on which you can plant this, food, or make more automatic fishers. Or he will go to bed at like 11 p.m. or something like that, and he will set it up so that he is constantly casting his fishing rod and gaining XP and getting fish that he can sell. And so 8 hours later he'll come back and he'll have grinded for 8 hours. Like he'll put like something on his mouse.
What happens when the server goes down?
I don't think it does. Or if it does, then
one day it will.
Yeah, I know. I guess my other little brother, who is 11, my middle brother is 18, but my other brother who's 11 also does this. And he went with my mom on a trip to go see my grandma, and I was dog sitting for them. And he had left his computer on for 3 days, constantly casting the fish. And after a day, I think his fishing rod broke or something like that. It was enchanted to like continue going for so much longer than the normal fishing rod. And I called him and I said, hey, your fishing rod isn't casting anymore. Do you need me to like set it up for you? He's like, oh, what happened? Did it break? I'm like, yeah, I think it broke. He's like, no, you can't do anything. I'm like, okay. I just saved and turned it off for him. But it was like, you know, this is exactly what I would have obsessed over if I was like 11 or 12 and I had like a game with an econ. Unfortunately, all I had when I was 12 was the beginning of Nazi Zombies.
No.
That was my big game before League of Legends.
Yeah, she just kind of fell off, I feel like, in popularity since COD.
Yeah.
Anyway, like I said, I've been getting home from work with about 4 hours left in the day, not having anything to do.
Yeah.
So I've been playing Minecraft.
Been playing Minecraft.
I have. And
the hot play.
I'm actually going to plug something right here. I've been volunteering for a server.
Uh-huh.
It's a hardcore MMO server. So there's no PvP, but you go out and you pick a class like mage or warrior stuff, and you go out and fight stuff, and there's these dungeons that you can do, and that they take like a couple hours if you haven't done them for the first time, and you have to fight a ton of stuff, and you can do it with a bunch of other people and friends and stuff, and there's like a guild system.
That's so cool.
I can't do it justice in the description, but
it's basically like World of Warcraft, but in Minecraft.
Right, and so I'm actually, I've been playing on the server for about 2 years with my girlfriend and my sister, just like on and off.
Yeah.
Not super committed, but recently I got back into it, and I've actually been actually put onto the team now, and I've been working for like a couple hundred hours after work the last couple weeks, building one of these like super dungeons that
a couple hundred hours in 2 weeks.
Well, like 2 months.
2 months, okay. 8 weeks. That's 56 days. That's 4
hours
a day.
Work. Yeah, I know. That's what I said. I have 4 hours when I come home.
The math checks out.
Plus the weekends.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I've been working on that. And then hopefully it should get published this month that I've been putting so much time into. And then basically a couple hundred players will play it.
That's so cool.
Actually run through it. It is kind of cool. It's also extremely nerdy, and I'm slightly embarrassed about it.
Dude, I've been consuming so much D&D content on YouTube. Yeah, exactly. We're all nerds here.
Yeah. So if you want to play,
except for the listeners, you guys are cool.
This server is called Monumenta MMO, and the website to get started is playmonumenta.com. I think.
If you text that to me after this, I will include it in the description.
Nice description. Perfect.
Yes. I need an opinion. I need a question on the YouTube video. Obviously it's just a still image most of the time. Do you guys actually like listen to this with it pulled up and you just have the image there, or when you listen do you tab it out and not look? Oh, you tab out. That makes sense. I obviously don't.
If you hear something that cues you to go back and look at the video, then you might pull it back up just to see what you're missing. Yeah. So like when we were talking about the games or whatever, and you said you would put something up.
Yeah, I will definitely start adding in some photos on top of the the one picture, if that's not redundant, or if nobody is gonna watch the pictures, then I'll just save time and put it out faster. But yeah, that sounds good. I've wanted to do like a video version of this where we're just talking and it's like videoing us, but that's just so expensive. That's just so much camera equipment, and we're not doing anything super exciting. No. I think the next step.
That's pretty cute. You guys don't get to see.
That's very nice of you. But the next step in upping our production is getting a second microphone. Caleb brought his own last time, and if you listen back to the last episode, you'll notice that it's a little echoey. It's not echoey, it's just one microphone picking up the voice extremely clearly, and then the second microphone getting a little bit of that. But the software that we didn't like separate the waveforms of the two microphones. It's just one set audio file. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my old laptop that I used to record this on a year ago in Audacity, because that's what we use, Audacity. So I'll have two laptops, and then I'll have a second microphone for the second laptop, and we'll just sync up the Audacity. We'll just like clap or something like that, so we know that the Audacity file are, that's the time that they overlap, and we'll just record into the separate laptops, and I'll just send it over to the main laptop that I edit on. But I just have to figure out how to dampen the background noise for each microphone.
Sound engineer.
Yeah, it's a little
It's hard stuff.
something. I thought that the two microphones with the one software editing software would be good, but it combines the audio files, so I can't like lower one and raise the other, or isolate the background noise in it, because just seems like there's always a little I'll figure it out. But what I'm getting at is, I'm sorry for last episode if it's a little echoey. It's gonna get better, all with due time.
So shall we move on to the next segment?
Yeah, what's the next segment?
Wow, we discussed talking about tier lists. You remember
Oh,
that?
yeah. Let's do that.
Let's do that.
We oh god, I just screwed up the audio. But anyway,
It looks so bad.
it's so loud. I went, oh. When we didn't have anything to send my way from Tyler's perspective, he's like, let's just do a tier list. So we're gonna do a tier list.
Mm-hmm.
What is our tier list gonna be?
What are your ideas?
You presented the tier list idea.
Fun. Yes, but that doesn't mean I'm the only one that can contribute. So
Correct.
My ones are fast food. Everyone's been doing fast food. You've seen it everywhere, probably.
Correct.
At work, everyone was doing fruits. Like what your favorite fruit is?
Oh, a fruit tier list.
A fruit tier list. It's a little more obscure.
That is.
I feel like it's very insightful about what kind of person you are. Also, best kind of fries, but I'm not sure about that one.
I like fruit. Let's do
like
fruit. Yeah.
And then there was also the political one, which should be...
Nah, let's not do the political one. We don't have to do that. That's a little long-winded, I guess.
Chad, I've seen your Twitter. You want to talk about it.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay,
We'll
start with fruits.
We had said basically matching the Democratic candidates to...
No, we don't have to do that. We just...
to
What's their win percent?
What's their win percent?
Of like the chance of getting the nomination.
Oh, and rate that as a tier list, or you're just asking me? As a quiz?
No, it's there's not a quiz
you're
on.
tiering. You're doing the tier.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like,
that's boring.
There's a lot of people on Twitter doing it, but
well, it would go pretty quickly, I think.
no, it wouldn't. I will debate.
Like getting elected, or
what do you mean?
Like, what would the tier list be? Like the
who
probability
has the best
for winning.
chance?
I mean, yeah, I could go through this in like 3 minutes.
Okay. Let's do fruits.
Let's do fruits.
I'm finding the fruits is why I'm on my phone.
Okay.
The list of fruits.
I'll give you the speed run. You've got
You're wrong.
You've got Elizabeth Warren, S tier.
Really?
Yeah. Joe Biden, S tier. No progressives want to admit that, but he is electable.
No, of course. No, obviously Joe Biden's up there.
A tier. Bernie Sanders.
I actually think Bernie is quite low.
I think so. Here's what's going to happen. Him and Warren are going to stay in the race so long, they're going to pull votes from each other.
Yeah, they're in the same lane.
And then Joe Biden is going to, inch forward ahead of them because, the progressives are going to be voting for the progressives. And then the average Americans are going to be voting for the moderate, which is so not what we need right now, but whatever.
Would you care to elaborate?
No, I'm just pretty progressive.
Uh-huh.
I think B tier would be Cory Booker, Kamala Harris.
I actually have Kamala Harris at number 1.
You have her at number 1.
I have her at top tier.
Interesting.
And
would you care to explain why?
I think obviously she will do extremely well with black voters, which is a large part of the Democratic population. At the last debate, I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, she kind of
beat up Biden.
Yeah.
And since then in the polls, she's been doing a lot better, and Biden took a hit.
Mm.
And I think her name recognition is lower than Warren, Sanders,
So she's
Biden.
skewing low right now.
There's also Buttigieg, who we talked about briefly.
I think he's C tier. I don't think he gets voted for.
I think he has more votes, more support in the polls than he really should right now. So that kind of indicates to me that there's potential because no one knows who he is.
Yeah.
So I think he's B tier.
That's true. And yeah,
everyone else is C.
I think I just put
Farouk is just Yikes.
Rook is like F tier. He fell down so quickly.
There was so much potential. Everyone wanted him to run, and then just splat.
When he
flat on his face.
When he immediately started speaking Spanish in the debate, I was like, "Oh no,
That's just
what are you
pandering.
doing?" Yeah, I know. It was bad.
It's disgusting.
Julian Castro jumped up quite a bit
he had
for
a
me.
moment, but I feel like the moment wasn't represented in the polls.
No. I think he's at the same level as Buttigieg. I think everybody else is like D to F tier. I'll put Kamala at A. But I think her background of her voting record, and the fact that she was a prosecutor and now she's calling for, the decriminalization of the stuff that she would prosecute for, and
I think once she's in the spotlight more, that will get exposed.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, we're going over fruits.
We're going over fruits. Here's the comprehensive list. As you can see, there are more fruits than you remember.
Okay, I'm gonna read them out for you guys. There's honeydew, watermelon, blueberries, cantaloupe, grapes, apples, mangoes, oranges, plums, lemons, limes, cherries, cranberries, peach, apricot, strawberry, blackberry, pineapple, pomegranate, raspberry, grapefruit, and kiwis.
That's probably not all of them either, but...
No, I'm sure there's more.
I'm sure there's more that I missed in my
Not
list.
a single dragon fruit on this list. What about a tangelo?
A tangelo? I just put those under oranges.
No, those are good
I know
fruits.
they're different. But...
All
right, so probably the best way to start is pick something either at the very bottom or very top so you have something to judge.
Like, for example, strawberries, top tier.
I disagree.
Whoa, little controversy to start it out.
My sister would agree with you at S tier. I would put them personally at B.
Strawberries, but you can put stuff on strawberries and eat that. You can put chocolate covered strawberries.
That is true.
Any sweet topping.
It goes
generally
up with toppings.
Generally goes really good with strawberries, and that is the first thing that you think of when you think of topped fruit.
Okay, I see your point. Given the fact that it's very versatile as a fruit, and you can do a lot with it, I will move it up to A. However, I do like other fruits better.
I will agree with an A rating. It's not my favorite fruit, so I will be saving the S tier for my favorite fruits.
Okay,
but it's a very good fruit.
It is solid A tier fruit. All right, so now I think the best course of action is to go through just in order.
Yeah.
And then kind of judge. So
is there a bad fruit on there that you don't like? Is there an objectively bad fruit?
Do you count avocados as a fruit?
I don't know what I count avocados as.
Do you count tomatoes as a fruit? Because I'm not listing those vegetable fruits.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider them traditional
if we were
fruits.
counting avocado, it would be F tier for me. There's a lot of people that like it. Same with tomatoes. I hate tomatoes.
I'd put avocado at an A, and I'd put tomato at a C, because I still like tomatoes as a topping, but I wouldn't just eat a tomato. Whereas
that's disgusting.
I've eaten little bits of avocado just on them by themselves.
I can respect that people like avocado, but it's not for me.
That's fine. It's a weird creamy texture, and
for sure.
It's like savory.
Apart from that, on this list, I don't think there's anything I would put like F necessary. I don't like cranberry as much.
That's a bitter. I mean, I would never eat a cranberry on itself. I would have like cranberry.
So I think
juice.
that's probably my lowest. I don't know if I would even consider
an F.
I don't know if I would even consider that F.
Cranberries are like a medical remedy for like UTIs.
Yeah,
I'd put
it like D/F tier.
Yeah, that's a D.
So now that we have kind of the high and low, all right, honeydew.
B.
I would say C.
That's fine.
Great.
Fair. It's
watermelon. A.
B. Okay. We'll do a 1, 2, 3 rating.
Yeah, this is good.
And we'll see how many we match up on.
Okay.
All right, go.
Blueberries.
1, 2, 3 B.
Excellent.
Fine, fair.
Cantaloupe.
All right, 1, 2, 3 D.
D.
Cantaloupe. Oh crap! I don't know what I think I mixed up honeydew and cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe is just better honeydew. IMO.
I think cantaloupe is a B, and I think I think honeydew is a D.
Is a D.
I don't
like. I put honeydew at C.
It seems like every time I eat honeydew, it's like the rind. It's like closer to rind. It's always hard.
I feel like the whole thing's a rind.
Cantaloupe is a B. Cantaloupe is like the celery of fruit.
Okay, grapes. Do you want to break this up into green and purple?
No.
No? Okay,
No.
mine are very different.
Okay. Do you not like green? Are they too sour for you?
I hate green. Green is D.
All right, we'll go purple, red.
Actually,
So
green is F.
so we'll go 1, 2, 3 rating for purple and green.
No, you already know my green.
Okay.
So if you have the same for both, then it's whatever.
I don't mind green grapes. I think they're a C. I think red grapes are a B. I mean, I think
purple grapes are a B. Green grapes are an F.
A B rating for this is if I walked by a bowl of it in my house and they were there and washed and prepared, I would pop one in my mouth.
We should define what the tiers are.
Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I think S tier, favorite fruit, living alone, I will actively go to the store
and buy them every week and eat them.
A tier, I will pick them out of a fruit salad first and I will eat them first because I don't want them to mix with another thing.
Okay, we already did D.
B tier. C tier is
I will eat them if I'm hungry.
I will eat them if they're on my plate and I'm starving and I need it and it's in
there's no more available better options.
Yeah, C tier is if they're in a fruit salad and I want to clean my plate.
Yeah, I feel like D, once we're there, we're getting to I don't want to eat this.
D tier is I really don't want this. Yes.
And F is like I start hating other people for eating them.
Yeah, F is actively judging people for enjoying them. Cranberries, raw cranberries.
All right, where were we? Okay, we're on apples. So I feel like there's a lot of different kinds of apples, but I will not like misconstrue myself as an apple expert because I most certainly am not.
I think you got two. You got Red and Delicious, and you've got Granny Smith. Those are the two most important ones.
I actually don't know what the difference is.
Red and Delicious are the red ones. So if you go into a hotel and there's a bowl of fruit and there's a red apple and it's not completely circular, it kind of goes straight up and it can balance on those 4 little bits. Mm-hmm. That's a Red and Delicious.
Okay.
It's a very... a lot of times when you eat them, they're going to be sitting out for a bit so they're not cold and they're kind of like springy. If that makes sense.
So my rating
it's a weird texture.
It's just going to be what I consider the average apple.
The average apple. Just like a reddish, greenish
Okay.
apple.
Is that yours?
Sure.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, C.
You were saying B and then you went to C.
I think I need to close my eyes when we do this because I like read your lips a little bit.
I don't want you to have the same thing as me for everything.
But here's the thing.
That's boring.
I don't like apples in fruit salad.
Oh, I don't either. I feel like it has no place in a salad.
Yeah.
They're just, if only because they're like kind of hard to eat.
Yeah.
That's kind of like slows down your salad.
That's true.
Okay.
I do like apples as a flavor and things. I love apple pie.
Are you gonna make like?
I love apple cider.
You should put all of these like in the tier maker and just have that as the image.
Yeah, and I will.
It shouldn't be too hard to do that.
I'll just unreveal it as we go or something like that.
Well, I don't know. I guess that's true. Maybe at the end you just put it if it saves you time.
Maybe. So as I was reading out the fruits, I said blah blah blah. Like I'll put an image of those fruits as I say them, and then as we rate them, I'll put a letter on them. It's very simple.
Okay, but at the end you should have like the whole tier list.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
No
mangoes.
spoilers. Oh, okay.
I feel like
crap! I showed my hand. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
C.
A. Mangoes are good.
I can respect that some people like mangoes, however, I do not.
It's so sweet, and here's the thing, I have sensitive teeth, so like when I'm eating an apple straight out of the fridge, and it's cold, and it's hard to bite into it, it hurts my teeth because I have to spend so much time peeling it away. It's like a full second where my teeth are in this freezing thing. Mangoes, A, can sit out while they're ripening, so when you eat it, they can be warm.
I don't know anything about that.
B, they're soft. They're really soft.
Aren't they like fuzzy?
On the outside, but you can peel them and then like cut them up and eat the.
So here's my deal. I think the fruit itself as a C. When you put it in like a smoothie or something like that, it goes up to an A.
Well, mango is my favorite smoothie. You get a mango bay at Smoothie U on NC State.
They're pretty good.
You've won the day.
I will like drinking them, in like a smoothie or whatever drinking. I don't know if that's the word for the smoothie, but. Yeah.
Consume.
You know what I mean?
Consume a smoothie.
Okay, next up, oranges.
All right. 1, 2, 3. B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward, I feel like.
I like orange juice, but I hate eating.
I actually like oranges more than I like orange juice.
Really?
Really.
I'm vice versa. But if my family eats a lot of oranges as like meal supplements.
I consider both to be average.
My mom is so weird. She doesn't like peel an orange and then like rip it apart into the natural eighths that it is. Mm-hmm. She cuts slices and then you have to like eat it watermelon style, like a little mini watermelon slice, and you have to rip it off of the rind. It's so annoying, but maybe that's just why I'm biased against it. I love the taste of oranges though.
Okay. Next up is plums.
Plums. One, two, three, A.
Excellent.
Plums are good.
They're good. I feel like they're underrated.
My grandma's neighbor, who she was close friends with, had a plum tree when I was growing up. So when we went over to visit him, when I was like a 5-year-old, that grandmas would show off to their friends, like, oh, look at my grandson. I would get plums, and they were delicious.
Okay. Lemons.
One, two, three, A. Love a lemon on a drink.
I wouldn't eat it as a fruit. I would, but it's B tier.
So here's the thing. If it's just a fruit, it's a D. It's so sour you don't eat
It's about
lemons.
the potential.
However, unlike an orange juice...
I love lemonade.
Well, here's the thing. Unlike an orange juice, lemons are still practical in their sliced fruit form with stuff. You can put a slice of lemon on stuff.
Have you not seen orange slices and things?
Yeah, but orange juice isn't orange slices, it's juiced orange. So it stops being a solid orange and it's a liquid orange now.
Okay.
A lemon can be a physical fruit. Okay, all right. So now
I think
now you can't
is lower, lemonade higher. So
Sure.
I think all around is a B for me, but
we got a lot of Bs. I put it as an A. All right.
Okay. Next up, limes.
Yeah. 1, 2,
2, 3, A.
S.
Limes,
I will straight up, even though they're sour,
they're good.
They're good. I love putting lime on my Mexican food whenever we go get Tex-Mex or just straight up Mexican food.
Potato chips.
I'll slice them up and I'll put them in my Coronas. And then when I have 6 lime slices left over, I will eat them instead of throwing them out because they're that good. Mm-hmm. Lime is an S tier fruit.
I'll change my rating. I agree with you.
It's versatile. Even though it's sour, it's still so good that I will grit through.
Lime's S.
Yeah, S.
All right, like a soft S for me.
Okay.
Next up, cherries.
All right, 3, 2, 1, D.
D.
Maraschino cherries are good.
Those are god tier. Maraschino is like S.
But a classic black cherry is too much work. I will not.
It is too much work. So. If I have to
can we divide it? I'll divide the classic black cherry and the maraschino cherry, and we'll do like an A and C.
I would give D or not D, B for normal cherry.
Yeah. S for
only
maraschino.
because it's so much work. Like if they're cut up and I don't have to do any work, it's an A for just the fruit.
That's even more work, though.
If you just buy them with their cut up.
Oh, you can buy them
like a slices.
Pitless. Oh, okay.
Yeah, pitless. That's what I mean.
I guess.
Like then it's good, and I would love eating. So that's an A, but I think for how much of a pain
I'll give you this one since you gave me the soft S on the lime. I will give you an S and an A or an S and an
I just
B.
want a B for cherries.
Okay.
Because you were right, they're too much work, but I don't think they're D. All right, next, cranberry. We did this.
That's an F.
It's the only F on the list.
Yeah. Cranberry.
Next up, peach.
Oh. 3, 2, 1,
B.
C.
It's a very soft B. I was considering C. But I think a lot of people like peaches, and it's good flavor.
Again, I love peach as a flavor, but as a fruit, I just don't feel the
But I've eaten
straight
up peaches, and it's fine.
I have too, but it's not something I seek out.
Okay, next up, apricot.
3, 2, 1, D. Yeah.
Excellent.
Unknown fruit.
Unknown.
Can't stand out above a peach. Who's eaten an apricot instead of a peach before?
I have, and it's regrettable.
It's sour.
It is. It's just like a sour peach. It's not good.
It's bad.
All right, next up, strawberry. We did this.
Yeah,
okay, next up, blackberry.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
B.
I didn't have an opinion formed. I'm gonna have to say a B because I do walk by blackberries in my house and I do eat them.
Right.
Pop them in.
Yeah.
All right.
Pineapple.
3, 2, 1.
B.
S. Pineapple is an S tier. I have gone to.
Do you put it on pizza?
I do.
Oh, okay. That's why he's an S and I'm a B.
Bacon pineapple. I've gone to the store and bought a pineapple and sliced it up before when I was living in my old apartment.
Okay. So on the tier list, you'll have to put it as an A because you have S and I have
We'll
B.
have to average it.
Yeah.
That's sad. I'll do it. Any split decisions, I'll do blank/blank.
Okay. And just put it in the tier.
Yeah.
Average. Cool. We're on the last legs here. Pomegranate.
Pomegranate. 3, 2, 1, D.
S.
You little contrarian.
I love pomegranate.
You love pomegranate?
I do not love doing the work and getting all the seeds out, but you can buy just the seeds or just the fruit part of
Seedless
it.
pomegranate.
Yeah, and that is god tier.
I'll have to try that because I've never.
I would recommend trying it. Never eat a pomegranate, just fruit.
I only had it once and I couldn't figure out how to do it.
That's why it's a D. It's so judgmental. You got to get to know the pomegranate first.
I have been obsessed with this YouTube channel called How to Drink for about the past couple of years. He's been teaching people how to do like cocktails, like mixed drinks. He'll use simple syrup, but he'll also use grenadine, which is essentially a simple syrup made out of pomegranate juice. And he has claimed that he loves pomegranate, but he hates the work into going and doing the pomegranate.
That's why the taste is an S.
Yeah.
But its work is a lot worse than that.
Well, if we're not doing the work, then we have to go back and adjust for the black cherries.
That's true.
So
in which case I had an A.
Yeah.
For just the fruit taste.
Interesting. So maybe we undo the black cherry, put that back up to an S, and I bump it up a little because I definitely judged it harshly based on that.
I guess it depends on like what's your criteria for ranking, which we also never went over.
we did. It was like
we went over the tier definitions, but we didn't go over the criteria that we're ranking them on.
Interesting. Well, it was kind of implied that
so
they were in their base fruit
and there's work.
form. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's I guess
that is implied. If you want to do that, then we knock down pomegranates to like at least B.
Well, but again, you can buy seedless pomegranates where there's less work to be done. So yeah. I think that we can leave that as an S. That's fine for you. Okay. But I am not a fan of pomegranate, especially not the taste. I think it's very bitter.
Yeah, that's fine. It is a weird taste.
Whenever I have like a flavored water,
it's like an acquired taste almost. I feel like.
Yeah.
Next up, raspberry. 1, 2, 3, A.
Yeah.
Fairly self-explanatory. It's just all around solid fruit. Grapefruit.
We just did grapefruit. Oh, we did pomegranate.
We did pomegranate. Grapefruit. 1, 2, 3, A. Really?
Again, I'm not a fan of.
I feel like I'm predisposed to like grapefruit because at my grandparents' house in Florida, that they had grapefruit trees and we had it all the time. They like dump in sugar.
They made it a lot better.
And you like have it and you cut it out and like you have a grapefruit spoon.
Yeah.
Those are a thing, and then you
are they like pointed a little bit?
Yeah, they're pointed. They're spiky, and you put sugar on them, and
that's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm just biased. So that's
you
why
come from grapefruit culture.
Yeah, that's why it's an A for me. But,
that's funny.
But I accept
that's fine.
Not that way. Last one on the list is kiwi.
3, 2, 1, C. Yeah. Just a fine fruit.
Yeah,
too much
adequate, but
yeah, it's
not gonna go out of my way to eat it.
It's a melon.
All right, so that's the fruit tier list.
I got my work cut out for me to make that palatable to your opticals. Mm-hmm. But I think that will be worth it. That's fun. That was good.
Yeah.
Very cool. Do you have anything else that you want to talk about this week? This month?
This year? Do you want to do a quick fast food one? You don't have to make a tier list.
Let's not do a tier list. Let's make a fast food tier list based on restaurants. So like I think an S tier would be equivalent to this restaurant and you only get one for each of the letters.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Are we both doing each tier, or are we one person doing one tier?
No, I think we're going to go through and do a tier for each other, write it down, and then we'll cut back in, and then we'll read the tier list. So.
We're doing this independently?
Yeah, we're going to do it independently and then read it to each other and see how they match up.
Oh, man, okay.
So it's going to cut out in like 3 seconds, and then we'll get right back to you. I will let you start. Should we go down to up or up to down? That was a weird way of putting it. Should we go...
I think we should...
Bottom up or top down? Should we start B? Should we start as
we should start at the middle, I think, just like last time.
Go B, C, A, D, S, and F?
Save S for last.
Okay. So let's start C, and then B, And then
C. What was my C?
C for
I got C. Okay.
C for me is going to be Burger King.
Okay. My C is Arby's.
That's an interesting C. I would have put that a little bit lower.
Mm-hmm.
Care to explain why it's a C? What keeps it from being
I just
D
think
in
it's
your eyes?
extremely average in everything it does.
Interesting.
And that's what C is. C is average.
Yeah. What's another C that would have been comparable to Arby's for you?
Comparable to Arby's. McDonald's.
Interesting. I was thinking about putting at McDonald's at C as well, but I think Burger King is a C for me. I don't like that there's really only one thing, if that makes sense.
At Arby's?
No, Burger King.
At Burger King.
You get burgers, you get fries, you get pretty bad chicken nuggets. And there's not like a chicken sandwich option. There's not like a decent chicken tenders versus nuggets option. They have weird promotions where they like dye the buns and that's
You're
it.
doing all the work for me for our next tier.
Yeah, so for D.
Yeah, for D I have Burger King.
Yeah.
Another one I would put here is Hardee's.
Interesting. I put for D, I think Quiznos or another D tier I think I would have put Arby's at D.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that
I've never actually had Quiznos. So.
I think the food is so specific and yet they don't do it well that they just, it's just not good.
All right, you want to move up to B?
Yeah, we'll move up to B.
Well, did we ever talk about like what each tier is, like for the fruits?
I think that these are saying what the tiers are.
Self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Because like I would never go to D or F.
No, and
I would go to C if I had to.
Yeah.
But obviously, if I'm going to actually get food, it goes up.
Mm-hmm.
So B.
Mm-hmm.
I have Wendy's.
That's a good B.
Mm-hmm.
I had McDonald's as my B because while traditionally McDonald's have always been like gross fast food places, in the recent years they've really upped their production value. They've put more emphasis on keeping the restaurant clean and making decent food. They've put more emphasis on making it more presentable. They have a lot of good coffee too that I've had.
I'm not a coffee person, so any coffee places.
I mean, they have good smoothies. They have a lot of options.
That's true. I like their flurries.
Flurry, smoothie, coffee. You can get a chicken sandwich. You can get a decent burger. They have a lot of variety. I wouldn't put their quality above Burger King, but they have more variety, and that's important.
Okay. So you want to do A now?
Yeah, let's do A, and then we'll do D and F.
Okay.
So for A, I have Bojangles.
That's my other example. For A, I have Cookout.
Cookout, yeah, I would say is a good A.
Cookout and Bojangles are my A examples.
Yeah.
Care to explain?
So Bojangles and Cookout both are really, really good at what they do.
Priced fairly.
Very fairly. Those are the best value.
Which is really what you want at our
fast
age.
food. Yeah, exactly. Food. You go to Cookout, you get a burger, you get 2 sides, and you get a drink for under $6.
It will fill you.
And it will fill you. A lot of times I save one of the sides for later because I have such a small capacity.
Yeah.
But it's, the ultimate value. Relatively quick service. But yeah, it's all around good. For D.
We already did D.
We already did D?
Yeah, it'd be F next.
Oh yeah, I did already.
I forgot my F.
Oh, you want to hear my F?
Let's hear your F.
Dairy Queen.
I remember my F. I have Dairy Queen at D. My F is Popeyes. I think it's just fake Bojangles.
Oh, interesting. I've actually been to Popeyes.
Everyone's like, some people like Popeyes over Bojangles. I think they're insane. I think they have something wrong with them.
Their biscuits are worse, but their honey mustard is better. Their French fries are so much better. At least in my preference.
I actually prefer Bojangles fries.
They're smaller, thinner, and crispier, and I enjoy that.
I like the seasoning on Bojangles more.
The seasoning is quite good on Bojangles.
I also usually get the mac and cheese at Bojangles.
At Popeyes, there isn't as much spice on the fries and the chicken, but I like honey mustard, and there's a lot of spice in the honey mustard.
It's so much worse.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the core of your meal.
Sure. And I'll agree with that. I mean, I do put Bojangles above Popeyes. I'd put Popeyes at like
I know. It's just for
B.
me, A and F.
Yeah, just complete opposite.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yours was Dairy Queen. Why is that?
Have you ever eaten at Dairy Queen?
I have, but I was very young, and it was probably a D experience.
My mom, when she was pregnant with Colby 10, 11 years ago,
Is that why it turned out so bad?
She would crave their ice cream, but we needed lunch. So we would go and eat lunch, and she would get like a really nice Blizzard, and we would get like a kid's meal with like a free ice cream cone or something. Good? The Blizzards are great, but that's not fast food. That's the dessert.
I feel like if you're going to Dairy Queen, you go for the ice cream.
But they still serve fast food there.
Well, that's their fault.
They serve the worst hot dogs you've ever had.
I'm sure they're terrible.
They serve the worst fries, soggy fries you've ever had because they're not focused on making the food. They're focused on the ice cream.
But I feel like they are at least good at one thing. And I feel like F is bad at everything. So that's why that's D for me. Is because what they advertise, they're good at.
Okay, well, if they're going to be bad at everything, that's an F tier. I would say, and I might be a little impartial because I've only been in one, and this could have been a bad instance of this restaurant.
That would make you partial, not impartial.
What did I say?
Or at least biased. You said impartial.
Then I'm partial, yeah.
Yeah.
Whataburger.
Whataburger. I've never been there.
Driving to Texas every year, we have passed by Whataburgers.
That's true.
And we only stopped at one about 5 years ago. And we go in, and it is the most disgusting restaurant I have ever been in.
I hope you
don't know if this. I don't know if this was because it was off of a highway in a rural part of Louisiana, but it was just so disgusting. There was crap all over the floor. The food was not cooked properly or something like that. The fries were cold, and the burger was soggy and like dripping, and I just was like biting into this burger, trying to get it down, and I was so hungry because we had been in the car all day, but I was like, I can't finish this. This is so bad. I just got the standard burger or something. I think I got it with like onion straws on it or something, and they were bad too. It was just the worst fast food experience I've ever had. And I will not eat at Whataburger again. That one restaurant ruined it for me. So that is why I will say that is an F tier versus maybe Dairy Queen, whose food is always, no matter what Dairy Queen you go to, going to be an F tier. You know it's going to be bad food when some Dairy Queens don't even serve the food. Sometimes you go to like a mall Dairy Queen and it's just the ice cream because that's what people want. They don't want the food. It's bad food.
It's like ordering steak at a seafood place.
Yeah.
It's like if you do that, that's your fault, I feel like.
Exactly.
So that's kind of the difference there. So all we have left is S.
S tier?
S tier. My S tier is Chick-fil-A.
That was my S tier. They keep a clean restaurant. Everybody's really nice, or they get fired. And
the food
is great. I mean,
they only
do like three things: chicken sandwich, spicy chicken sandwich, or like a chicken.
But what
chicken
they do
Caesar
is so
salad.
good.
It's so good. They perfected the chicken sandwich.
Yes, they really did.
Chick-fil-A.
They should change their name to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A did it.
They did it.
Boys, they did it.
That's what the A stands for, by the way, if you were curious. A+.
Yeah.
I went to their factory.
Chick-fil-A plus, yeah.
All right, so there you have it.
We
now agreed on a few of them.
Yeah, we did. Cookout, Chick-fil-A,
Bojangles.
Burger King and McDonald's were swapped, I think.
Yeah.
Arby's was swapped. Popeyes was different, though. That one was a little vastly different because have you been to Popeyes on Hillsborough?
No, I've been to the Popeyes on Western, the one right next to the Bojangles on Western.
Oh, yeah.
They're asking to get out of business.
Oh, I didn't mean Hillsborough. I meant Western.
Yeah.
That was the one I went to.
I've been there. It was bad.
They're asking to be out of business? What happened?
They're next to Bojangles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right next to your biggest competitor. But I went on opening weekend, and it was very good.
It was probably really good for the opening weekend because they put more effort into making you come back.
That's true. I think I did go back
it's just
another
like,
time.
You know how NC State's food is really good on parent visiting time and bad the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like that's maybe what happened, but
that sounds good.
Right.
That's our tier. That's our tier list. I think that's it. I
Right,
think we're out of juice for this week/month.
/year.
You know what I want to do? I want to get you and Caleb on the podcast together. But you guys got to hang out beforehand.
I've never met Caleb.
I think you have.
Actually,
no,
I probably have, but I don't remember.
I actually don't know if you have because
We gotta play some Catan.
you never come to my birthday parties or seasonal
Yeah,
parties.
I hate it when you get 1 year older, Chad. Means I'll have you less.
Oh my god. But yeah, I think a little bit of a lackluster end to the episode, but I think we're so full of steak hibachi that it's hard. It's
just making my point earlier right about not being able to do anything after lunch.
It's hard. It really is hard to like find the energy. It's tough. But yeah, tune in next time for when possibly Caleb and Tyler are in an episode.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to get Ainsley in on a couple episodes with like
The one that made
me
the
and
bad
you
episode.
or me and Caleb. Well, it wasn't her fault. She was trying. The other girl was not trying. Sarah was not trying.
Gotcha.
And you
I'm
can go.
glad that's doing well. You're probably coming up on about a year now, right?
Yeah,
That's exciting stuff. I'm
it is.
proud of you,
It is
Chad.
exciting. Yeah, her birthday's coming up, and by the time that this podcast is released, she will have received her present. So I don't feel bad saying. I don't even know if she listens to the episodes all the way through or
That's
not.
sad. Your own girlfriend doesn't.
She's yeah,
Mine does.
yeah, you know what? I forget to remind her when they're coming out. So it's like a week will go by and I'll be like, "Have you listened?" She's like, "Oh, not yet." But for her birthday, a little context, we've been playing a lot of D&D together. We are in a group with our mutual friends that I DM, and then we're also in a group with my school friends that I do not DM, which is I've been having so much more fun playing D&D as a character than DMing it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's aside from the point. What I'm getting her for her birthday, because I've been a little short on cash, because I haven't had a job for until a couple weeks ago, is I ordered online some foam that had specifically sized holes that will fit most Dungeons and Dragons dice.
Mm-hmm.
And normally you just keep it in that cardboard box, and there's like 3 layers of the foam that you can just store your dice in pretty efficiently and just tuck it away somewhere. But I mean, it's like a white cardboard box. So what I did was I went to the thrift store and I got this little wooden box. It's like, I think the specifics were like 300, 30 centimeters by 8 centimeters, something like that. I guess 3 inches by whatever the conversion to inches are, whatever. But 12 inches.
Thank you, Chad.
A foot long by like a quarter foot long, and it's just a wooden box, and it had like some design on it. So I scraped it off, and I'm gonna get my friend to 3D print a little plate that I put Roll Them Bones, Ainsley's dice on, and I'm gonna screw that onto the box. And I don't know if I'm gonna paint it yet. It depends on what color the filament is in the 3D printer that he has. But that is my on the cheap birthday present for her. My little craft present.
That's really sweet. I like the handmade sentimental stuff a lot more than
than like
you bought something.
a $25 Amazon gift card or something lame like that. Yeah. So exciting stuff. That's probably what I'm gonna work on after we finish recording this, and after I finish editing and upload the next episode. So you guys know exactly when we're recording this because it'll be like 5 hours before the original upload of the next episode.
Yep.
But anyway, good episode.
Yep. Thanks for listening. Guys.
Good episode. A little round of applause. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Next time we're probably gonna have 2 microphones. That'll be fun. Hype. All right. We'll tune in next time.
All right.
Adios.